Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on this webinar. Data visualization is not self-service BI, the case for IoT and BI. My name is Gurtu Roche. I'm the head of content here at Sisense, and I'll be your host for today's webcast. Before we dive into the webinar, a few things to note. First off, if you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to post them in the chat box, and we will get to them during the Q&A section at the end of this webinar. Furthermore, everyone who has registered for this event will be sent the recording after the event. In today's webinar, our presenters will debunk the common myth that data visualization is self-service BI, taking you on a data exhibition journey and exploring how information workers can become more self-sufficient by having a BI environment that is more usable and also more consumable. I would like to introduce today's webinar presenters. So first off, props to Adi Azaria. He is our co-founder and chief evangelist here at Sisense. Adi is a passionate entrepreneur, author, and an established thought leader in innovative technology. Adi comes with an extensive experience building business and operational infrastructures from the ground up, driving long-term growth, and building successful teams, training and growing exceptional managers. And we are also here with Lee Harmon, who is our engagement manager at Sisense. He is a data geek and an experienced software developer with big data environments. Lee has a deep understanding of BI implementation, as he had the pleasure of delivering over 100 analytics projects to date. And with that, I will hand it over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Gur. Welcome, everyone. I'm Adi Azaria. Together with me today is Lee Hermon. Hey, Lee. What are we going to do today?
Hi, Adi. Hello, everyone. So today we're going to go on a data expedition together, and we're looking for some daring data explorers to join us. I know we have some of those listening to us today. So to go on our journey, we're going to really face and understand what are the tools we can use as data explorers. But first, let's find out which type of explorer you are. To answer that, we will answer 3 questions, each of us now. And if you would like, we're going to you can send those answers to us. Remember the letters of your answers, and just send those in the voting application here in the webinar. So the first question is, how do you prefer to learn something new? Would you rather someone explain it to you? Would you rather someone draw a diagram or demonstrate it? A, B, or C? Next question is, what helps you study the best? Is it A, quiet, B, writing on paper, or C, taking breaks every now and then? And finally, what do you enjoy most at a party? Do you enjoy A, having deep conversation with someone, B, just chilling, or C, dancing or doing other activities? Okay, we're waiting for your votes. Write to us your votes for all of these. They're coming in. Lovely. And yeah, did you vote?
Yes, I did. I'm excited to know what's on your mind for my results.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So from the votes, I can see that most of us, let's say it's a competition between B and C's so far. The top is mostly C right now. Most of us answered C on all these questions, whereas for 50% of the votes, and then a close 37 is a mostly B. So that's interesting. What does that say about us? Let's see. Well, each of the letters really correspond with a different type of thinking and data exploration. If you answered mostly A, your way of thinking is kinesthetic or through physical activities. That means we're learning about the world through activities, and it's the easiest way for us to do things. B means we're more visual oriented. We more kind of photograph things with our memory and think that way. And C is a verbal oriented. Okay. Now we're still getting in votes, so it's a competition between all of these three, which is completely normal. Adi, did you also find yourself get a combination of those three?
Yeah, actually, it's a combination of the three.
Oh, so that's definitely understandable, as most of us would probably use different methods of doing different things. Fortunately, we here at Sisense have tools for all sorts of ways of thinking about things. If you're kinesthetic, visual, or verbal, we have different tools that we use as data explorers. How about it? So, are we ready to begin?
I'm ready to begin.
Awesome. Let's do it. So, I would like all of us now to take a deep breath and close our eyes and open them one by one as we wake up in our beds as social media analysts. We're starting our day and we're yawning, just kind of stretching our bones, lazily waking up and having a look at the clock next to the bed when we freeze and realize that we're late to work. We have a 9 a.m. conference call where it's already 8:35. You jump out of bed and you power through your morning drill as you grab one bite of toast, and as you're about to storm out of the door, you realize that you didn't go over your dashboard for that conference. So you're already running late, Adi. What do you do then?
Well, luckily, Lee, I got a nice gift for last Christmas for my wife. It's the Amazon Echo device. Well, you can ask for the weather, play some song on Spotify. But I really like this device because mainly I can connect it to my Sisense platform. We're basically answering any of my, let's say, simple questions with a simple answer. And these questions can be, what is my total revenue, summarize financial dashboard, all in natural language.
Wow, that sounds great. So, yeah, that would be a great solution. So you use that Echo in the meeting to share insights with everyone. And leaving a very productive meeting, you get back to your desk. And what's the first thing you do at your desk?
To be honest with you, I'm not getting and sitting at my chair because I'm utilizing another of Sisense features or platform, which is the smart light. So basically, my smart light tells me if everything is great or something is wrong.
So basically, it is kind of a physical KPI. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a good insight. We connected any of the KPIs on your dashboard from your BI platform using a color threshold to a smart light. The smart light is Wi-Fi connected, and basically whenever these numbers change, you can see green, red, etc. At your room, knowing if everything is okay, and basically sensing data.
Very cool. In that case, you notice that the light is shining in blue, it's glowing in blue, which means that their website traffic is behaving oddly. How do you exactly investigate that from that point?
It's a good question. Usually I would go to my dashboard and start, slicing and dicing. However, Sisense introduced a very cool feature called Pulse. Pulse, like your heartbeat, enable me to find out what is wrong. This can be any kind of item or KPI using threshold, so anything below 100 or above 100 will send me an email or so. But there's also another way to look into your data, specifically in a noisy data, where you can just set a machine learning anomaly detection, and whenever something is wrong, the machine will actually send me this alert. So you don't need to set any thresholds.
Very nice, very connected. So in that case, so really we learned from Pulse that the web traffic is actually peaking, and it's up by 20%. That is great news, though it's just the beginning. Obviously, it's crunch time, and we need to find out more about that behavior. How do you dive into that exactly?
I basically use my analysis narrator.
Oh, well, the narrator. What is the narrator, like a storyteller?
Yes, exactly. The narrator is a feature that allows me to simply create or take any kind of item, like a chart or a pivot, and run hundreds of statistical functions on top of, and get insights out of it. So usually a data scientist or a data analyst will take a few minutes up to an hour to analyze the entire correlation between the items within the visualization. In that case, we can actually see the insights or the narration, natural language generation, in a few seconds.
And what types of insights? So is it going to be kind of averages or even advanced analytics? What type of thing?
Everything. It's a good question. Everything that is significant. So starting from just accumulating the entire series of a chart, down to advanced analytics like predicting the next items within a chart, or just getting a linear regression, trend lines and so on, and of course also correlation between different series on a chart.
Nice. I can definitely see how I can use this. But so then the narrator is telling us that the visitors on our website are mostly female between the ages of 28 and 34, located in the suburbs. I think that's a great insight. And you've earned your lunch, so it's lunchtime, and you can now really enjoy it right after you remember, you remember that you did not send that dashboard to your chief marketing officer, who is texting you eagerly, wanting to know what's going on with the website today. You're already at lunch and you're kind of comfortable in your chair. What do you do then, Adi?
So first, it describes me pretty well. I'm running late everywhere, and I need to do some stuff, and I'm forgetting some stuff. But luckily, I have my chatbot. The chatbot is basically a platform that allows me to connect to my Sisense dashboards and widgets securely, and it allows me to ask naturally questions throughout my data. You want to see?
I would love to see it, please.
Okay, let me show you. So of course you can just type in any kind of greeting, and chatbot will give you a funny answer. You can also ask any kind of business questions like, what is my total revenue? These questions went directly to the Sisense platform, utilizing our amazing engine that gets big data in a few seconds. So any question will be answered in a blink of an eye.
Nice.
Can you see my screen?
I believe not. Let's try again. I would love to see that.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds great. Go on.
Okay, let me do it again.
Sure.
What is my total revenue? And you'll get the answer. And you know, we're all chatting all day. This goes directly towards this, let's say, evolution of communication. You're chatting all day. Why wouldn't you chat with your BI platform? So just bring your own BI platform and start chatting with it. So I got my total revenue, and I want to share it with someone. So just send widget to someone. Send widget to Adi. And ask him what is wrong. The chatbot will basically send me an email giving me all this information in that case, and saving me a lot of time just to copy and paste my stuff and send it to somebody else. You can also do a more advanced stuff. Remember we were talking about the narrative option.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say get revenue versus units, and you don't need to care about spelling too much. It takes care of everything. It's really smart. So get revenue versus units sold. The chatbot basically goes to the Sisense platform and look for the best match using machine learning algorithms. Once it's finding the right match, in this case it's going to be a chart. Well, it's going to create an image of this information. You can see the widget. You can go to this widget within the platform, but you can also click on analyze. Analyze, click it or type it. Will basically run again 100 of statistical functions and give you the most significant one. The idea is that you get a data scientist next to you running all these numbers and telling you what is significant enough for you to know. So in this case, let's see the chart in here. We can see a column and a line chart together, revenue versus units sold, and basically the units sold are the total quantity. So it tells you this chart displays total revenue and total quantity by month. Both total quantity and total revenue increased, with total quantity rising by 150% and total revenue rising by 91% over that time frame. It also gives you the correlation between them, so you can see total revenue finished trending upward, again linear regression, and also specific items for each of these series. Does it make sense?
Absolutely. This is pretty cool. So it's like the chat box is your analytics buddy that you can ask for KPIs, see graphs on the fly, and it would even narrate it and give you some and run some advanced analytics in the background and give you those insights.
Exactly.
Wow. So it seems like you have a lot of interesting things there at Sisense. Would you care to say a few words about Sisense and its journey?
Definitely. So the Sisense platform was introduced about 12 years ago with one goal in mind: to simplify business analytics towards business users. The BI landscape is divided from my perspective into three parts. You have the legacy tools, the ones that they can do everything. Just name your project, and within a year or 6 months you will have everything you need. However, you know what, Lee, and you did quite a few projects, I guess. After 6 months or a year, your project requirements is changing. We live in a dynamic environment, business environment, so these tools become more and more irrelevant. And in the last 10 or 5 or 10 years, you're starting to see more and more modern self-service tools to provide, nice visuals for end users. So you just slice and dice and get the answer, and that's great. However, these tools do not take care of the data preparation or big data behind the scenes. That's when Sisense comes into place. We combine the ease of use with the data complexity all together in an environment that simplify a complex data. And to add on top of it, whatever you guys see today is the fact that we're taking it more into the consumer side, where we simplify data consumption. utilizing chatbots, lights, and echo devices. So that's what basically Sisense does.
Nice. Very cool. I would love to learn more about Sisense. I think we've marked this data expedition as successful. Your chief marketing officer would be ecstatic after you send him those insights. And how do I learn more about Sisense from here?
So basically, you can go to sisense.com and explore the website. We also provide a free trial. So anybody who actually wants to use this amazing platform, feel free to do so. You can also set up a live demonstration with one of our guys and an actual proof of concept to see the magic on your data.
Cool. Thank you. That was fun. Thanks for joining the expedition, Adi. You've played a great part in that. And Gore, back to you.
Yeah, guys. So thank you for presenting. And throughout this presentation, we have collected several questions. So I want to start with the first question. So I'll read it out loud for you guys. One of our participants asked, you gave us a great feedback about having this webinar really interested and engaging in the way we presented it. However, the question is how this presentation is connected or dispel the myth that data visualization is not self-service BI. So maybe Adi, you can elaborate on that, or Lee?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Lee, go ahead. Go ahead, Lee.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we are kind of coming in here and saying, hey, we realize the power of data visualization. However, self-service BI is a larger umbrella. We are offering a way to immerse ourselves in analytics to really be served by the BI, and for us to be, and for anyone who's wanting to use BI to be able to use it however they want. Hope that answered.
Yeah, I would like to add to that, Lee. In many cases, data visualization can present you, very nice charts, graphs, and so on. But a matter of fact that most end users do not understand, just for example, a scatter chart, because it's a lot of bubbles everywhere. And in order to really understand them, you need to be a data analyst or data scientist. Our goal is to take these complicated visualizations and simplifying them just by, using the natural language generation. Even further, a number can be presented in many different ways, but once it's presented as light, we simplify the data consumption once you can actually sense the data, see if it's wrong or right, and move on with your life. That's the goal in simplifying data visualization and the fact, regarding the self-service or not.
All right, so another question that we got from the audience is the following. Is Sisense cloud-based or on-premise? So, Adi, you want to tackle that?
It's a very good question. Sisense can work in any cloud platform like Amazon or Google Cloud. However, it can also, no, more than that actually. It can also work on-premise. Many of our clients are financial institutes that need to take care of their data. So one of the biggest Sisense strengths is being able to host huge amounts of data on-premise and provide the same self-service tools to the users on-premise again or in the cloud.
Got it. Another question, what kind of data sources can you connect with Sisense? So Lee, can you tackle this?
Sure thing. So basically data sources, we have a very wide array of data sources. They could be flat files like Excel or CSVs. They could be databases like SQL Server or Postgres, and they can be even API based. Fortunately, we've kind of are enabling today to connect to even more. We enable our users to create their own connectors. If you have an API, you can create your own API connector to whatever. So there are quite a few out there. We have our full list is actually available online and in the product, of course. So I encourage you to look into that entire list and find what you need.
Got it. Another question that I have coming up is, can Sisense support live data? So as a follow-up, Lee, can you address the live data?
Sure. Live data as in, yeah, so we can, we've just added that functionality that was introduced in our, that was just introduced will be introduced in the next version as it's in beta right now, which allows us to connect directly without going through our proprietary database into your data source, have it be SQL Server. That is something that's definitely coming up.
Got it. So basically, those are the questions. And with that, on behalf of Sisense, we would like to say a big thanks to you, Adi and Lee, for jumping on this call today, sharing your knowledge and expertise. And a big thanks to you, everyone, that attended today's webcast. Thank you again for joining. And as I said at the beginning, we will send you the presentation link momentarily. So with that, see you all at the next webcast. Thank you very much.